Hold on tight because this super simple 1500 points of golden banana boys is probably the cheapest real list you can buy in the entire game. The list is entirely built around the insane value of the Custodes Combat Patrol. All you need to do is go and pick up 2 of them, and that's it. Nothing else. You've got your 1500 points right there. Insane, right? Let's see how to actually build and use the list. We'll start out with 2 Blade Champs for 110 points each, 2 squads of 4-man Custodian Guards for 180 points each, 2 squads of 3 Terminators for 195 points each, and 2 squads of 5-man Custodian Wardens for 250 points each. All up, this totals 1,470 points. That's an insane value coming from 2 combat patrols. Start this off by slapping both Blade Champions in the 5-man Warden squads, making one of them your Warlord. This gives us 2 golden bricks that will melt anything they get into contact with, just absolutely deleting almost anything. The play is simple. Get these bad boys into the biggest, scariest units your op brings and watch it go bye-bye. We'll use the other 2 squads of Custodian Guards to play the game, capturing objectives and killing the other less important units. They usually can manage to kill most things in combat, but they aren't the strongest or tankiest without an attached character, so be a bit careful. Now this is where it gets a bit spicy. You have 2 options. Option 1. Start out with both Terminators in Deep Strike, and use them to come in on later turns to cap objectives or reinforce where needed. If you go this route, I would personally have 1 squad for deep striking in the enemy deployment zone to capture their home objective, do actions, and get points, and I would use the other squad as a dynamic unit to reinforce wherever is needed most. The second option is to start 1 unit in deep strike and use it to get points, while you sit the second squad on your home objective and hold it. You can play around with who you want to hold the home objective. It can be one of the guard squads or one of the Terminator squads. I would personally make the Terminators hold the home objective as they are harder to move than the 4-man guard squad. But most importantly, they have your once per game ability, From Golden Light They Come, where you can remove them at the end of your enemy's turn and redeploy. This gives you the ability to help out anywhere if everything starts going bad. There's a bit of list variety you can do with what you've purchased as well. You're not stuck with the 1 list, although it's not a lot. Some options are: swap out a Blade Champ for a Shield Captain, swap out a Terminator for another Guard, swap out a Warden for another Guard. The pros of this list are: it's insanely cheap for 40k, although it's expensive when compared with other hobbies. We can deep strike and get a good amount of points because the Terminators are hard to move and fight decently well. This army is super quick to build and paint. Just spray on some gold, hit them with a wash, and you're practically done. The 2 squads of Wardens are just straight up fun. It's great watching the enemy unit get absolutely deleted. Finally, you can redeploy with the Terminators. The downsides of this list are: it's got practically no range damage, no cheap units to hold objectives and do actions, not good at screening due to the low model count. You have to be smart with movement and willing to lose some models to get into position. The price of this list depends largely on where you live and what discount you can get. I've broken down the cost for a few countries using the standard 20% discount. For the US, it's going to set you back 336 Freedom Dollars at retail prices from Games Workshop and 270 if you buy it discounted from a friendly local game store. For the UK, it's going to cost £200 at retail and £160 discounted. For Australia, it's going to cost $556 dues at retail and $446 dues discounted. For New Zealand, it's going to cost just $652 at retail and $522 discounted. For the US, you would save $66. For the UK, you would save £40. For Australia, you would save $110 dues. And for New Zealand, you would save $130. Remember, you can get these potentially even cheaper with a bit of searching around. I just used the default 20% discount. Overall, this list is insanely cheap and a great way to pick up Custodes.